ladies and gentlemen, I have a question for you. If you died today, what dreams, inventions, books, businesses, and ideas would die with you? The wealthiest place on earth is not the oil fields of the Middle East, the diamond mines of Africa, or the banks of Switzerland. The richest place on earth is the cemetery. Why? Because buried in those graves are businesses that were never started, books that were never written, songs that were never sung, and dreams that were never fulfilled. I refuse to let you add to that wealth. I refuse to let you die full of untapped potential. Today I want to show you how to extract every ounce of greatness hidden inside you so that when your time on this earth is done, you can say with confidence, I have used everything I was given. If you stay with me till the end of this speech, I promise you this: you will never settle for less than your best again. You will never leave this world full. You will pour out your potential, touch lives, and fulfill the purpose you were born to achieve. The greatest loss in life is not death, but a life that never discovers its full capacity. Every human being is born with potential, an unseen deposit of ability, talent, and purpose that, if developed, can transform not only their life but the world around them. The tragedy is that most people never explore the vastness of their true capabilities. They live and die within the limits imposed by society, fear, and self-doubt. They settle for a life of mere existence instead of one of significance. The graveyards are full of people who never wrote the books burning within them, never sang the songs buried in their hearts, never started the businesses they dreamed about, and never built the visions they once saw so clearly. This is why unfulfilled potential is a greater loss than death itself. The problem is not that people lack potential. The problem is that they do not recognize what they already have within them. A seed contains an entire tree, but unless it is planted, watered, and nurtured, it will never grow into what it was designed to be. Likewise, inside every person lies greatness waiting to be cultivated. Potential is not what you have already done. It is what you are still capable of doing. The danger is that many people measure their worth by what they have achieved so far, never realizing that there is much more locked within them. The moment you stop growing, learning, and stretching yourself, you begin to bury your potential alive. Fear is one of the greatest enemies of potential. People fear failure, rejection, and even success. They are afraid of stepping outside their comfort zones, afraid of trying something new, and afraid of being different. But fear is a liar. It convinces you that you are incapable, when in reality you are more powerful than you can imagine. Fear makes people trade their dreams for security, their ambitions for routine, and their visions for routine. Routine is important to health. Those who allow fear to control them will never discover what they are truly capable of. But those who dare to confront their fears, push beyond their perceived limits, and embrace the unknown will unlock dimensions of themselves they never thought possible. Another silent killer of potential is procrastination. So many people delay working on their dreams, believing they have all the time in the world. They say, one day I will start my business. One day I will write my book. One day I will go back to school. But one day is not a date on the calendar. Time waits for no one, and every moment wasted is potential buried. Those who understand the value of their potential do not wait for the perfect moment. They create the moment. They take action, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. They refuse to die with their potential still inside them, because they know that the true tragedy of life is not death, but leaving this world without giving everything they were created to give. You were born with purpose. There is no one on this earth who exists by accident. Every person carries a unique assignment, a divine mandate, and a reason for being. You are not here just to work, pay bills, and die. You are here because there is something inside you that the world needs. The greatest mistake a person can make is to believe they are ordinary when they have been created for extraordinary things. The sad reality is that many people spend their lives searching for meaning in all the wrong places, chasing money, titles, approval, and temporary pleasures, while ignoring the deeper calling within them. Purpose is not something you find, it is something you discover by unlocking the potential that has been placed inside you from the beginning. Everything in life has a purpose. A bird was created to fly, a fish was created to swim, and a seed was created to become a tree. No matter how hard you try, you cannot make a bird live underwater or force a fish to walk on land. Likewise, when you live outside of your purpose, you experience frustration, confusion, and dissatisfaction. Many people go through life feeling empty, not because they lack success, but because they lack fulfillment. Success and fulfillment are not the same. A person can be successful in the eyes of the world, having wealth, status, and achievements, yet feel completely empty inside. That emptiness comes from not living in alignment with the reason they were created. Purpose is discovered in potential. Everything you need to fulfill your purpose is already inside you. Just like an acorn carries within it the blueprint of an entire oak tree, you were born with the ability to become everything you were destined to be. The challenge is that many people never tap into their potential because they do not believe in what they carry. They have been conditioned by society, circumstances, and even their own fears to think small, dream small, and live small. To exit and open a window in your psyche, in your feelings and self-esteem, and transcend all fears to think small, dream small, and live small. But small thinking leads to a small life. When you refuse to develop your potential, you are not just robbing yourself, you are robbing the world of the gift you were meant to share. One of the biggest lies people believe is that their background, education, or current situation determines their potential. But potential is not defined by where you come from. It is defined by what is inside you. Some of the greatest world changers came from the most difficult circumstances. They refused to let their past define their future. They understood that purpose is not dictated by conditions. It is discovered through determination. Your purpose is too important to be postponed, too valuable to be ignored, and too powerful to be wasted. The world is waiting for you to rise, to unleash what has been placed inside you, and to make the impact only you can make. You were born with a purpose, and it is time to work on it before time runs out. Potential is unseen power. It is the hidden ability, the untapped strength, and the undiscovered greatness inside you. Everything you are capable of achieving already exists within you, waiting to be developed and released. Just as a seed holds an entire forest, your potential holds a future greater than you can imagine. The tragedy is that most people live and die without ever realizing what they were truly capable of. They accept the limitations imposed by society, circumstances, and even their own fears. But the truth is, the only real limitation is the one you place on yourself. Look at the world around you. Every invention, every breakthrough, every masterpiece began as an idea inside someone's mind. The light bulb existed inside Thomas Edison before he ever created it. The airplane existed inside the Wright brothers before it ever took flight. The technology we use today existed inside the minds of visionaries before it became a reality. Nothing in this world was ever created without first existing as unseen potential. And just like those inventors, pioneers, and world changers, you carry something inside you that has the power to change lives. The problem is that many people do not recognize their own potential. They allow their past failures, their environment, and even the opinions of others to define them. But just because you haven't done something yet doesn't mean you can't. A bird doesn't have to be taught how to fly. It was born with the ability. A tree doesn't need instructions to grow. It follows the pattern of its design. In the same way, you were created with everything you need to succeed already inside you. You don't need to look outside for permission to become great. You only need to tap into the power that has been placed within you. What stops most people from unleashing their potential is doubt. They think, I'm not talented enough, I don't have the right education, or I don't have the resources. But potential is not measured by what you have, it is measured by what you can become. A seed doesn't look like a tree, but inside it is the ability to grow into something much greater than what it appears to be. If you judge yourself only by what you see now, you will never realize what you are capable of. The key to unlocking potential is faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your abilities, and faith in the vision placed inside you. The world may not see what you carry, but that does not mean it isn't there. Diamonds are buried deep in the earth before they are ever discovered. Gold must go through fire before its true value is revealed. Likewise, your potential may be hidden, but that does not mean it does not exist. It is your responsibility to dig deep, to push beyond fear, to step outside of limitations, and to develop the greatness inside you. Everything you need to fulfill your purpose is already within you. You just have to bring it out. The greatest enemy of potential is not failure, it is comfort. Comfort zones are the silent killers of dreams, the invisible prisons that keep people from ever reaching their true capacity. The moment you settle for where you are, you stop growing. The moment you stop growing, you begin dying, slowly, without realizing it. Nothing great was ever achieved in comfort. Every breakthrough, every invention, every world-changing idea came from someone who refused to stay where they were. The sad truth is that most people choose security over growth, familiarity over adventure, and ease over challenge. They fear the discomfort of stretching themselves, so they stay in the small, predictable life they have always known, never realizing that they were meant for more. The most dangerous thing about comfort zones is that they feel safe. They make you believe that as long as you are not failing, you are succeeding. But survival is not success. Just because you are getting by does not mean you are thriving. The greatest tragedy is not falling, it is never trying. The greatest risk is not failure, it is staying the same year after year while your potential remains locked inside you. Growth is painful. It requires effort, discipline, and the courage to step into the unknown. But nothing worth having comes easy. A butterfly must struggle out of its cocoon to strengthen its wings. A baby must push through the pain of learning to walk. A tree must break through the hard ground before it can stand tall. If you avoid struggle, you also avoid growth. Many people dream of success, but few are willing to endure the process it takes to achieve it. They want the reward without the sacrifice, the victory without the fight. But potential is only unlocked through pressure. Diamonds are formed under extreme heat and pressure. Gold is refined in fire. Muscles only grow when they are pushed beyond their limits. In the same way, your greatest abilities will only emerge when you are willing to embrace discomfort. The moment you decide to step beyond what is easy and familiar, you begin to unlock new levels of potential you never knew you had. Fear is the reason many people refuse to leave their comfort zones. They fear failure, rejection, and the unknown. But fear is a lie. It makes the risk seem greater than the reward. It makes the challenge seem bigger than the opportunity. But the truth is, the greatest risk is staying in the same place and looking back years later, realizing you never became the person you were meant to be. Every great achiever, every innovator, every history maker had to face fear and push through it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent. It is the willingness to step out of their comfort zone. Your potential will never be found where you feel safe. It will only be discovered when you dare to go beyond what you think you can do. Potential does not manifest automatically. It requires discipline, vision, and a commitment to personal growth. What you don't develop will die inside you. Just like a seed left unplanted never becomes a tree, potential that is ignored remains dormant. Many people assume that having talent or intelligence is enough, but raw ability without refinement is wasted. The world is full of gifted people who never reach greatness because they refuse to do the necessary work to cultivate what they have inside them. Potential is not a guarantee of success. It is merely the starting point. What you do with it determines whether you live a life of impact or a life of regret. Hard work and discipline are the price you must pay to unlock your full capacity. No one becomes great by accident. Athletes train for hours every day, musicians practice endlessly, and leaders study and refine their skills. Success is never given. It is earned through persistent effort. Many people desire a better life, greater opportunities, and more influence, but they are unwilling to put in the work. They want to be successful without sacrifice, but potential only flourishes when it is actively developed. You cannot sit back and wait for success to come to you. You must go after it with determination and consistency. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for the perfect moment to start working on their potential. They say, I'll begin when I have more time, or I'll take it seriously when I have more resources. But waiting is just another form of procrastination. There will never be a perfect time. Growth happens in the process, not in the preparation. You don't need more time, you need more action. Every day that you delay is a day lost. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take the first step. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who had perfect conditions, but the ones who decided to start despite their limitations. Discipline is the bridge between potential and success. It is what separates dreamers from achievers. Anyone can have big dreams, but only those who are willing to do the daily work will see them come to life. Growth is not an event. It is a process that requires consistency. Reading one book will not make you wise. Going to the gym once will not make you strong. And practicing a skill occasionally will not make you great. You must commit to daily improvement. Even small progress, when done consistently, leads to extraordinary results over time. You must also guard your environment because potential is influenced by what surrounds it. A plant cannot grow in toxic soil, and potential cannot flourish in a negative or lazy environment. The people you associate with, the information you consume, and the habits you develop will either fuel your growth or kill it. Those who maximize their potential are intentional about what they allow into their lives. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, seek knowledge constantly, and refuse to settle for average. If you are serious about working on your potential, you must be willing to let go of anything that hinders your progress. Your potential is not just for you. The world is waiting for what only you can deliver. Every person is born with a gift, an ability, or an idea that has the power to change lives, solve problems, and leave a lasting impact. The tragedy is that most people live and die without ever releasing what was inside them. They allow fear, doubt, and procrastination to rob them of the opportunity to make a difference. But when you fail to develop your potential, it is not only you who suffers. The world suffers a loss it can never recover. Imagine if the greatest inventors, leaders, and visionaries had kept their ideas to themselves. What if the pioneers of medicine, technology, and social change had decided to stay silent? The world would be far behind where it is today. Every breakthrough, every solution, and every advancement came from someone who dared to develop their potential and share it with the world. The same is true for you. You carry something unique that no one else can bring. There are people whose lives can only be touched by what you have to offer. If you do not step into your calling, there will be a void that no one else can fill. The mistake many people make is believing that their potential is insignificant. They look at others who have achieved great things and think, I'm not as talented as them, or what I have to offer doesn't really matter. But potential is not about comparison. A candle does not have to be the sun to bring light to a dark place. A drop of water may seem small, but it contributes to the ocean. Likewise, your gift, no matter how small it seems, has value. The key is to develop it, refine it, and use it to serve others. Selfishness is one of the greatest killers of potential. Many people keep their abilities hidden because they are too focused on themselves, afraid of failure, rejection, or criticism. But potential was never meant to be hoarded. It was meant to be shared. The greatest fulfillment in life comes not from what you keep, but from what you give. True success is not measured by how much you gain, but by how much you contribute. The people who are remembered in history are those who poured out their gifts to benefit others. They did not live just for themselves. They lived for something greater. Your potential is a responsibility. It is not an option to develop it. It is an obligation. You were not given your gifts to waste them. You were not placed on this earth to just exist. You were placed here to impact lives. Every day you hesitate, someone else is missing out on what you were meant to bring. The world is waiting for you to rise up, to break free from fear, and to step boldly into your purpose. You owe it to yourself, to your generation, and to the future. Don't let your potential die inside you. Release it. Use it and leave a legacy that will never be forgotten. Your potential is a gift, one that must not be wasted, buried, or ignored. You were created with purpose, designed for greatness, and filled with abilities that the world needs. The greatest tragedy in life is not failure, but settling for less than what you are capable of. Every dream, every talent, and every idea inside you was placed there for a reason. The question is, will you rise to the challenge and develop what has been entrusted to you? Do not let fear, doubt, or comfort rob you of your destiny. Growth is not easy, but neither is regret. The choice is yours to live fully or to leave this world full of untapped potential. The world is waiting for what only you can bring. You owe it to yourself, to those around you, and to future generations to rise up and work on your potential. Your time is now. Step into your purpose, unleash what is within you, and make your mark on the world.